Hi there, in this video we're gonna learn about errors in Android and Java and how to overcome them, how to find a solution to the problems that we might face as we are programming. So go ahead and open your Dice app project, and first we're gonna go and open our Java codes. So open the app folder, Java, and the first package, main activity. So here I'm gonna show you some build errors as well as some runtime errors. So for example, a build error could be something like a lack of semicolon. If I delete the semicolon here, now we have a build error. So what do I mean by that? This means that now if you go ahead and run the program, the compiler won't allow you to run your program. So I'm going to choose an emulator and I'm going to click on OK until this process is finished, and now it's going to show me an error. And it's going to say that there is a compile error in the project, so that's why the project cannot be run. So notice that what it says at the bottom, it says compilation failed. See the compiler error output for details. At the left, we've got this build output. If you click on it, you can see that at the bottom here it says error, semicolon inside the single quotes, expected. So this means that at some point in our project, we need to have a semicolon. A semicolon is lacking there. So how we can find that file? So here notice what it says. It says Java compiler. When you open it, you can see the package or the folder. So here it is our package. And then we've got the folder, the Java folder, our package, and the error. So here we have the file, main activity.java. If I click on it, you can see that it's going to open the main activity. So for example, if I close this main activity.java and then I click on this file here at the bottom, this address, it's going to open the main activity for me, and it says that the error is here, and it has highlighted the line of code that the error occurred in line number 22. So it simply says that the error is here, go ahead and solve it. And at the end, you can see that there is a semicolon missing. It says semicolon expected. So I'm going to put the semicolon here. So this is called a build error. For example, if you forget to specify a data type for your variable, that is going to be another build error. So for example, here if I say this integer dice images, I'm going to delete this int. Now we have a build error. And if I go ahead and run the program, the compiler will complain and it won't allow me to run the program. So here at the bottom, it says there are lots of errors, and it says that the error happened in the main activity.java. And here we've got this error, illegal start of type. So this means that there is a missing type. So if I click on it, it's going to highlight this code that the error occurred. So I need to put the int data type here. Now the error is gone, and now I can run the program. Or at the top, if you click on build, you can just click on rebuild project in order to make sure that the project builds successfully. So this option, build rebuild project, is also good for when your project behaves a little bit weird. So when you think that your project doesn't have any errors, but it behaves a little bit weird, you can just go ahead and click on build and click on rebuild project, or you can go to file and then click on invalid caches and restart. And then it's going to restart your Android Studio, and then it will actually solve the problem by itself. So these are the common build errors that you might face as you are programming in Java. So here, for example, we've got this on-click listener. If you forget to put a keyword here, for example, this new keyword, it's going to show you an error. So always make sure to compare your code with mine in order to make sure that everything is written correctly. You can download the source code of this project, the DICE project, from this lecture, from the resources section of the current lecture. Another type of error is a runtime error, and you have already seen an example of that, the array index out of bounds exception. So here, for example, in line number 53, if you go ahead and generate a random number between 0 and 9 here, so I'm gonna change this value to 8, you can see that the upper bound is 9, but the 9 will not be included in the generated random number. It's going to generate a random number between 0 and 8. So now if you go ahead and run the program, you will see that at some point your application is going to crash because we only have 6 elements inside our array. But now it's going to generate a random number between 0 and 8. So this means that at some point it's going to actually choose the number 8 as the index of an array that only has 6 elements. So it's going to just throw an exception called array index out of bounds exception, and that is a runtime error. This means that when your user of the application runs the program and starts interacting with the application is going to crash at some point. Okay, your application literally has a bug, and this results in users uninstalling your application from their device. It has a negative effect on the market. So here, if you click on the roll the dice button, at some point it should crash the application. Now the application is crashed, and if you go back to Android Studio, Logcat, here you should find information about the error. But if you don't find any information, you can just run the program again, and then make sure to just click on this roll the dice button in order to crash the app. And here you can see the error. It says main activity Java line number 57 is responsible for this error. And here it says that the array index out of bounds exception, a fatal exception, is thrown. So suppose that we don't know what is this exception. Suppose that we don't literally know what is going on. What we should do then? Here, I'm gonna just copy this exception code, okay? I'm gonna just copy this code that says java.lang.exception, and I'm gonna go ahead and open my web browser. And then I'm gonna paste the error here and then press on enter here on my keyboard. So it's gonna open this page for me. So you can see that we've got some links on Stack Overflow. This is the website that you're gonna find the solution of 99% of your programming problems. So I'm just gonna click on this link here. And then if you scroll down here, you can see some answers according to this question. The question is, what causes a java.lang.array index out of bounds exception, and how do I prevent it? So here it says, your first port of call should be the documentation, which explains it reasonably clearly. Thrown to indicate that an array has been accessed with an illegal index. The index is either negative or greater than or equal to the size of the array. And you can see some information here. This is the accepted answer, but you can find other answers here below. So this is how you can find what went wrong in your project and how to prevent it. So according to this information, I find that I passed an illegal index to my array. So I'm gonna go back to Android Studio, and I'm gonna go back to my code. Here, I can find this upper bound, so it is 9. I'm gonna change it to 6. So now it's gonna generate a random number between 0 and 5. So let me change this comment to 5. So now if I go ahead and run the program, you can see that my application won't crash again. This is how you find the solution of the problem. So I'm gonna click on this roll the dice multiple times. I'm gonna test it again. And you can see that the application doesn't crash at all. It works perfectly without any problem. In the next video, I'm gonna talk a little bit about Android X library versus Android support library. I look forward to seeing you in the next tutorial.